All right, YouTube, how are we doing? Let's wait for some people to tune in here. This is a live filmmaking Q&A. Josh here from Momentum Productions. Let me try some of these cool filters. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that filter. So today I wanted to focus more on Halloween. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So today I want to focus on. So we talked about a lot of our last few Q&As have been about manual stabilization using glide cams and maybe even some shoulder rigs or something like that. But today we really want to focus on electronic gimbals, such as the one that I have, like the CameTV Argo or the DJI Ronin M, and the announced from NAB 2017 in Las Vegas, DJI just released the new DJI Ronin 2. That's right, 2. They made a second generation of the Ronin. It has a 30-pound payload, really high torque motors that can support up to 75 mile per hour winds. Now that is impressive. That's very difficult for a gimbal to do. It's 75 miles per hour. Now why would you need 75 miles per hour wind resistance on a gimbal? Well, if you want to mount it on a crane, mount it onto a car, you're gonna have a lot of wind outside driving. So 75 miles per hour worth of wind resistance, that's a lot. And for a gimbal to be able to achieve such great performance, it's going to take a lot of power out of the batteries, a lot of power out of the motors. So what they did with the DJI Ronin 2 is that they made interchangeable hot swap batteries, which means that while the DJI Ronin 2 is running, you can actually there's 2 batteries equipped in it. You can take one battery out, charge it, put the other one in, and keep hot swapping batteries. Yeah, so the Steven, what's up, man? I was going to say the Steven 2 instead of the Ronin 2. How funny is that? But yeah, so it's a huge gimbal. I wouldn't recommend it if you're a freelance filmmaker. And the only reason why you should buy a Ronin 2 is if you have a payload that's over 10 pounds. And to be carrying a payload that's over 10 pounds plus the gimbal, which is another like 6 or 7 pounds, that's a lot of weight. So you should be using some sort of brace or some sort of arm support. I know they have the backpack with the rods, and then they have the whole spring suspension arm that comes out. That's like a whole big thing. And if you're trying to be a traveling filmmaker, you can't take all of that equipment with you. You got to be as minimalistic as possible. Even the equipment I have is too much. It's too much. If I want to travel, I'm very limited on what I can take, but I have so much equipment. So if you are going to decide about getting some sort of gimbal or some sort of stabilizer, make sure it's compact, especially if you're a one-man team. I mean, that's something you got to consider. Hang on, let me change the filter here. What other filters do they have here? Dream, no. I want to make it that's kind of cool. Let me do back to normal. Anyway, so yeah, when you're dealing with gimbals, I know that there's all this technology coming out for gimbals, but you have to look at the practicality before you invest so much money. And the DJI Ronin 2 for most people is not a practical buy. Even the DJI Ronin, it's more like the DJI Ronin M. Those kinds of gimbals that have that similar, weight limit and size, that's the kind of gimbal you need. You don't need anything bigger than that, in my opinion. You can actually even fit a Canon C300 or C500 on a Ronin M. You can. And that's considered a cinema camera. So think about it. You just can't put a huge lens on it, obviously. You don't want a telephoto on there, right? So let's go ahead and start answering some questions. I have right now to the side, I have my CameTV Argo. And if you guys have any general questions about gimbals or even specific questions about the CameTV Argo, let me know. I'm going to pull it out in a few minutes after we get the ball rolling, and we'll talk about that. So let me go ahead and Okay, here we go. It's a beautiful day outside. It's 80 degrees and humid. All right, let's answer some questions. Stephen Holt is asking, did you see the Waterbird flexible slider under 2K and automated? Flexible slider? That's a thing? I have not checked that out. They just released that, huh? I'm gonna check it out. Hang on. Waterbird flexible slider. Wow. Let me see if I can find something about it. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's only one image of it right now online, so I'm gonna wait for the website to populate. After a couple hours, I'm sure they just released it, right? So it's gonna take a while for them to put on their site. But yeah, it looks pretty dope. Too much, Josh. Feel free to hook it up, brother. Yeah. But that's the thing. Listen, that's why I take donations now, because all the equipment that I review, I can give away because I won't need it. Some of the equipment you guys might need, but I don't need. And so all that equipment is just, some of it's sitting in my closet, stuff that I don't need. So the more donations I get, the more review products I get in, and that way I can just give them to you. So if you can, make a donation. The more donations I get coming in through YouTube, boom, I order more products for you guys. Halvin Wolf. Halvin, yeah. Josh is a professional product photographer and an amateur videographer. I'm looking to invest in a stabilizer and slider, but I don't know which one to get first. So it depends how much money you're willing to invest in a kind of stabilizer. Honestly, if you have a gimbal, you won't really need a slider. You really won't need a slider. Unless you need pinpoint accuracy shots, which I doubt many people need, you don't need a slider. Gimbals get you just that accurate, that beautiful accurate stuff that you need. But yeah, hang on, let me see what's going on with my feed here. I lost feed for a second. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so is there a way to fix color? I don't like the color right now. It's I'm a little dark. See, that's what happens with bad cameras. Okay, if I'm up here, I'm okay. That looks like. Okay, anyway, sorry about that, guys. So I need to review it. Yeah, well, donate. Or if you know some connections at Waterbird, tell them that I'm willing to review it for them if they send me the product. And then I'll be able to give it away. Because I already have 4 sliders. I don't need any more. Remind me to send a donation before you end the stream. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You can actually send a donation now. There's this little icon on the chat with a $sign. It's called a super chat. You click on the super chat, you can enter your donation amount, and that's it. So KVAC, waterbird.at. Give me a second. I'm going to check this out right now. Halvin Wolf says he needs pinpoint accuracy. Okay, my friends. So, you need pinpoint accuracy, then that means you do need a slider. You do need a slider, preferably an automated slider. I did review a slider from a company called Varanus.eu. They are a Polish company. They haven't really approached the American market yet. They're trying to. But they sent me their slider. Very nice slider. Very, very nice. Just go on my channel, look up Varanus, V-A-R-A-N-U-S, and you will find the review there. They have no one in the States to represent it. I bet you can get it. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me, waterbird.at. Matthews has a new one you can rent. Interesting. Okay, let me see. Wow, I'm looking at the video right now. Here, take a look at what I'm looking at. That is incredible. You guys see this? Wow. Calvin Wolf, thanks, man. I appreciate your donation, man. Tracking shot cam transition. Wow, look at that. Circular time lapse. That is incredible. Guys, look at this thing. On 2 tripods. Wow. Wow, that is gnarly. That is gnarly. Look at that. I wonder what it's made out of. And it's automated. It's all motorized. Wow. Guys, this is nuts. I'm tripping. I've never imagined that something like this could be possible. A flexible slider. It has an app too. Wow. So I guess they're not an American company then. Yeah, I wanted to go to NAB so badly, but I didn't sign up in time. I wasn't able to get tickets. Summer 2017. So it's not even out yet. Wow. That's fantastic. Yeah, thank you for... Maybe I'm going to email them. Yeah, I'm going to probably email them. That's fantastic, you guys. That's like... They got different sizes, too. They got a large, medium, and small. Wow. Wow. Alright, Sonic Palette. Here we go. He says, I'm going to be investing somewhere between $8,000 to $10,000 this year for my business. I was waiting for the A7S Mark III, but it looks like I have to wait till next year for that. I'll be purchasing camera cards, Atomos Media, yeah, the Shogun probably. Stabilization lights, cart, bag, mounting, etc. Any suggestions? Okay, so... Why do you think you'll be waiting till next year for the A7S Mark III? That's my question to you. Did you get any wind of when they're releasing the A7S Mark III? Because it was supposed to be this month, but they released the A9. So my guess is that since the A9 came out, you're gonna have to wait maybe two or three months for the next line of A7s to come out. So I would still wait. I mean, $10,000, that's a lot of money. When it comes to camera bags, I have 2 companies, 2 of my sponsors. I honestly think they're the best out there. I don't mean to say that just because they sent me, equipment, but I'm very picky, very, very picky with my equipment. I'm a little bit paranoid, so I take into account every little detail. And I'll tell you right now that thinktankphoto.com, best camera bags, I should say, and Nanook, Nanuk.com, make the best hard shell cases. Better than GPC, in my opinion, and better than Pelican. It's just, and they're a fraction of the price. And the quality is just, I have 4 Nanook cases and 3 Think Tank Photo cases. I actually have, here, look. So I have one Nanook case right here for my Came TV Argo. And then I have a Think Tank Photo bag right there. And then stored away, I have 2 more Think Tank Photo bags. Alright, so here we have a good question from KVAC. I was wondering a while back you did a video on how much to charge for filming. Could you update that? You didn't make a video on retainer like you had said in the video. Okay. Cool. So, when you're dealing with contracts, when you're dealing with charging people, it's very difficult to come up with the right price. So the easiest thing you can do, I mean, yeah, you can follow my video, but just like you said, KVAC, it's outdated already. There's different things you have to take into account. The best thing you can do right now is see who your competitor is and match their prices. But you have to look at good competitors. You can't just look at people who have mediocre videos. Look at the best people out there. Compare their work with yours, and you'll be able to come out with the right price. Now, when you're talking about retainers, for those of you who don't know, retainer is just a monthly option you can offer your clients. You can ask them to give you a monthly fee, so you can charge them monthly. Lawyers do this. They also call it a retainer. What I like to do, I'll tell you my pricing layout in the beginning, what I used. So when I was starting off, a lot of my clients were retainer based. I rarely worked by project. I worked mainly on a monthly rate. And what I did, I started off with the simple thing. And again, these numbers are, you can change them as you like. For example, if I were to work 10 hours a week, I would charge $1,000 a month. So 10 hours a week times 4, that's 40 hours a month, would get you $1,000. So I worked by hour, but that was like the retainer, $1,000 a month for 40 hours a month, if that makes sense. And then if I were to work 20 hours, I would charge $2,000 a month. 30 hours, $3,000. 40 hours, $4,000. So you start seeing the pattern there. That's a really good basic formula, in my opinion. I really like that formula. It's very simple, very easy. Clients love it. That is a big plane. There's a plane flying over. I don't know if you guys can hear it. But yeah, it's, pricing can start that way. I think that's a good idea, just where to start off with. But again, if you think you're better than that, charge double, charge triple, charge quadruple. It depends how much you want to make an hour. Set that as like the base, right? So if you want to make $100 an hour and you work 10 hours a week, do the math, right? Do the math. So that'll be $1,000 a week, so $4,000 a month for 40 hours a month. All right, I hope that makes sense. But eventually, yes, I'm so behind on tutorials, guys. I've been getting so many emails on how to do this, how to do that, how to do this, how to do that. So I'm 15 weeks behind on tutorials before I can start making new ones. I have a whole list. I have 15 new tutorials that I gotta shoot. I have to start doing drone stuff again. I need to start making some tutorial videos on how to do proper gimbal movements on a drone, because a lot of people have been asking me questions on the Mavic. How do you properly move the gimbal so smoothly? How do you obtain those nice smooth shots? I briefly covered how to do that in one of my older videos with the Mavic Pro on how to properly tilt down, tilt up, pan right, pan left, all that good stuff. How to fly backwards, how to fly. I still need to shoot a video on how to fly indoors, because that's an important video to talk about, an important issue to talk about. Semi-personal question: what's your favorite part about editing? Choosing music. You hear that? It's a loud crow. Choosing music is my favorite part about editing, because once you choose the music, the editing is easy. You just follow the music. I mean, there's a reason why humans are so sensitive to music. It's really remarkable when you choose the right beat. Especially with the Rob Riches videos. We actually had a really nice shoot. What was it, last week? Yeah, we had a really great shoot, and he's editing the shoot that we did last week, and I'm editing his workout stuff. The music is such a key thing. So I love choosing music. It's the hardest part, but once you choose the music, editing is boom, done, practically. Least favorite part about editing: dealing with color correction. I would say that's my least favorite part. That, and sometimes manual syncing audio with video. I think that's a real difficult thing sometimes. I had to shoot, I shot a video using 9 different camera angles. And what I did, I imported all those camera angles into a program called Plural Eyes, which automatically syncs sound with video, and it couldn't sync it. So I had to manually sync 9 different camera angles in Final Cut. That was tough. That took me hours. But I got it done. Eventually, I had to just go off the lip sync, you know, the way they were opening their mouths and closing their mouths. But a simple trick to easily, like, quickly sync sound without using, like, some sort of a clapper or anything like that. Look at how they pronounce the syllables. Syllables like A-E-I-O-U. Those are the, you know, you can really see that. You don't have to be deaf to actually read people's lips. You can actually see the way they pronounce words. So vowels, like A-E-I-O-U, right? Those are really easy to spot out, and you can match that out pretty simply with audio. But syncing 9 different camera angles from 9 different takes is tough. That's tough. Speaking of Rob Riches, can we get a live stream of you editing one of his videos? Yes and no. The problem with that is that sometimes we shoot together and we make a take, and then there's like there's a really bad take where like the camera is really bad or just somebody ruins the shot. And if I do a live stream on how I edit it, I don't know. I've had instances where we shot a video with Rob Riches and one of the people came up right behind him and said something really offensive in the background and walked away. And so if I show that in a live stream, I'm afraid people will get offended, and it will kind of be very embarrassing for me and for Rob Riches. So I'm not sure if I will be able to do a from scratch live stream of that. But what I can do a rough edit and then turn on the live streaming and then finish the edit with all the clips already trimmed. That way there won't be any weird blurbs or anything like that. And maybe I can show you how I put in the music and do the color correction and do all that. Yeah, I can do that. I can do it that way. Starting with the rough cut, yeah, we can definitely do something like that. Steve Holt, yeah, look at the waves, man, when you're syncing audio. That's how you're supposed to do it. But the thing is that just looking at the waves isn't good enough at times. You got to look at their lips and the way they're pronouncing each vowel. I mean, that's what I learned is the easiest way to sync audio with video is to look at the way they're pronouncing the O's, E's, I's, O's, you know. I said that already, but you know what I mean. Waveforms don't always help you. They help you when you have a clapper, because what the clapper does is it spikes the audio, so it spikes the waveform. The waveform goes whoop like a mountain, and you'll be able to easily just move that spike to the actual clap in the video. And that's how you'll be able to do it. Cam VE, oh my god, Steadicam guy. Yeah, that's me. I'm the Steadicam guy. Yeah. That's me. Alright, so let's see here. You still can't stabilize your camera. What's going on, man? What's the issue? Talk to me, man. Talk to me. What's going on? What kind of issues are you having with your stabilizer? Fine tuners? What do you mean fine tuners? Cam VE. I don't know. I have an S40 and I've gotten so close. So what's not balanced on it? Is it dynamic or static balance? Like what is the issue you're having? Be more specific. Maybe I can help you out. Kvac, thanks, man. I really appreciate your donation, brother. I really appreciate it. All these donations are going for a really good cause, and that is for you guys to get free tutorials and possibly even free products. So I appreciate your guys' support. It really means a lot. It sways when I move it. Okay, Cam VE. All right, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Cam VE. I have a playlist of 18 glide cam tutorials. I have one specific video called how to fix swaying issues. Okay, so you've seen it. I've seen your swaying video and everything. I mean, if you followed that to a T, my best guess, my friend, is to make a video and send it to me. Send it to my email address, info@capturethemomentum.com. capturethemomentum.com. Upload it to video, use like maybe a unlisted link, send it to me. I will watch it. I want you to make it a 5-minute video. 5 minute, maybe under 5 minutes, and show me how you balanced it, okay? But balance it from scratch in front of the camera. Balance it from scratch. You have 5 minutes. I won't look at it if it's longer than 5 minutes. So you have 5 minutes to balance this thing. If you can balance it in 5 minutes and think that it's balanced, I will watch it. That way I know you've watched my videos, okay? I just want to make sure that that's the deal. Cam VE, it might just be because it's some random Chinese brand. No, I don't think so. Rarely is it the fault of the gimbal. Very rarely. I had a Flycam, which was an Indian company, and that was awful. And that, I believe, was the gimbal. That was a problem with the gimbal. But I've had so many Steadicams so far, and I've had no issues with any of them. It was mainly just because of the balance. I love my Chinese brand stabilizer. Kvac. Yeah, dude. So don't forget DJI is also Chinese. And look at how many products they have. So you can't just say, oh, it's a bad product because China made it. I mean, China's dominating the film industry right now. If you haven't realized, they're making more products than America is right now. They're making more products. Not only that, they're not only making more products, they're making it at half the price, or at a fraction of the price. They're killing it. Kame VE, I might just save up for a gimbal. I think it's time to pull out the Kame TV Argo. I want to show you guys how this gimbal thing works. But I know a lot of you have already seen it. You let me know if you want me to show you how the Kame TV Argo works. Sonic Palette, thank you, brother. I appreciate your donation, man. Right here, love to you. Thank you so much. All right, Cam VE wants to see me balance the Kame TV Argo. Boom, you got it, my friend. So let's so Halvin Wolf, you're asking if the Canon Rebel SL1 will be alright, or should I just wait until I can afford an upgrade to Sony? I don't know the Rebel SL1. I don't know that camera. I know Rebel T1i, T2i. They have so many different names for these cameras now, I can't keep up. But it depends how long it will take you to upgrade to Sony. Alright. Kvac, talk to you later, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Stefan Muhammad, you really helped me a lot with the DJI Osmo flashlight mode. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm happy you learned something from it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this case right here. Look at that. You see, that's a mosquito bite. Mosquitoes are out. I got a lock right here. So you have a T3i, right, Halvin Wolf? Okay. T3i, that's a decent, fairly good camera. Shoots at 1080. Go for it. Definitely shoot with it. It's a great camera, especially for amateur starting up. But obviously the Sony A7 line is way more. You're gonna get way better images. My lock is a little stuck. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. And let me know if the wind is too loud. Wow, hang on a second. Did I forget my combination? Give me 1 second, guys. That. Wow, what is going on here? Boom, boom. Boom, boom. There we go. Got it. Finally. Damn. That took me a while. Alright. You guys ready for the moment of truth? Look how bright it is outside. Boom. Came TV Argo. Steve Holt says the crane from Ziyun Tech. It's only $650, which is right. The crane is a great gimbal. It is actually, it's very nice. And it's pretty powerful. But this is my baby right now. This is honestly my most favorite thing I own when it comes to film equipment. I love this thing so much. There's not one shoot goes by where I don't use this gimbal. So just take a good look at that. Prop the camera over here. Okay. Take this off. Move the camera over just a little bit. Digging the chimes. Thanks, man. So I won't be able to answer too many questions right now because I'm going to put this thing together, but I'll be able to talk you guys through it. Alright, so right here in the Came TV Argo, we have our stand, right? I'm going to unfold it here. It's a really light carbon fiber stand, a lot lighter than what comes with the Ronin from DJI. It's so light. It's ridiculously light, actually. It's all carbon fiber and aluminum. It's actually upside down. I gotta flip it over. Okay. Lift it up just a little bit. Cool. Alright, now we have our handlebars. I'm gonna screw on our handles here. Again, this is all carbon. This is the main handlebar piece is carbon fiber. Okay? Put that there. Take our second handle here. Go ahead and screw it on. Whoa, that was not good. That happens from time to time, guys. You're gonna end up dropping your gear in your career. So don't think that it's an amateur thing because all professionals do it eventually. It's inevitable. I've dropped my Sony A7S with my Zeiss lens on the floor. Boom, smack down. Nothing broke, thank God, but could you imagine if it did? Such an expensive Zeiss with the Sony A7S. Sony A7S I dropped actually twice. And just a few little dings on it, like scratches, but it doesn't look like I dropped it. It looks like it was just worn from the tripod being screwed in too many times. So it doesn't even look like I dropped it at all. Then we have the remote piece. I'm going to actually tilt up so you guys see everything better. Okay. There we go. We have the remote right here. That goes right over here. Okay. And then we have the actual gimbal, which I'm taking out of the case right now. Here it is. I gotta slide it in better. Oh, whoops. Slide it in from the back. Go. Make sure it's nice and tight. I'm gonna grab my quick release plate. Tilt down a little bit. I'm gonna put my quick release plate right here. Lock it down. Take my secondary quick release. No, so this is not the small gimbal. This is like for a heavier payload. And what is awesome is that with the heavier payloads, with the Crane M, you can't have a follow focus. This one you can have a follow focus. You see? I can put a follow focus rod in there. You also have a transmitter on the bottom to wirelessly transmit video feed. And in all honesty, you get better performance out of the King TV Argo simply because it's dual handle. You get way better stability using a dual handle system rather than using a single hand system. But I do see myself getting one of those single-handed gripped gimbals eventually because they're so compact and easy. Cam VE, do you have a red cam? No, I don't, and I'm not going to be ever buying one. I just don't need it for what I do. So right now I'm going to be using a Sony a7R II with a Zeiss 24-70. I don't think I'll ever use a red. Or buy a red for that matter. Just don't need it. Have I thought about it? Yeah. But for what I do? Nope. Do I not trust myself holding $70,000? You know what? From dropping my camera already twice, maybe I'm not too sure about that. So here we are. So the balancing process is pretty similar to like any glide cam or something like that, you know. But with this thing, if you're not too great at balancing, it's not the end of the world because the motors will balance everything out for you. But the better balance you have, the better balance you have on your camera, the better battery life you're gonna get, because the motors won't have to work as hard. It has to be balanced in all directions. Okay. Let me check the yaw. The yaw might be a little off. It's spinning a little bit. I think the yaw might be off, guys. Oh, that's because I don't have the battery on there. Ah, that's why it's spinning. So I'm going to take the battery here. And what's really great about the King TV Argo is that you can use your own batteries. These are Samsung batteries. Put it into the battery compartment. You don't have to spend $150 or whatever the price is on the Ronin batteries. These batteries actually cost 20 bucks for a pack of 4. That's all you need. Just plug it in. And I'm using a DJI Ronin M case to store the gimbal. That just tells you how similar the measurements are between this gimbal and the Ronin M. And then to turn it on, just like any other DJI product, tap it once, tap it again until all LEDs come on. Gimbal's gonna power on and adjust. And there you have it. You have yourself a balanced gimbal. See that? I'm wirelessly controlling it now with this thumbstick controller here. Comes with it. And I'll show you, I'm going to grab the gimbal, I'm going to take a step back and I'll show you how it looks like when I'm using it. Point the camera over here, level it out. Hopefully it won't be too bright to see anything. But here is the gimbal. Isn't that cool? It's all balanced. Yeah, I know the camera has a little issue with its exposure, but you guys can at least see the gimbal a little bit. But yeah, and it's quiet. And I can do inverted mode. See, it keeps the camera upright. See that? The Ronin doesn't do that. The Ronin 2 does, but not the Ronin or the Ronin M. But yeah, that is the Came TV Argo. Just adjusting it here. There it is, guys. Came TV Argo. Isn't it pretty? Yeah. That's what it is, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that bit. It's honestly my favorite camera accessory right now. It used to be drones, but now it's gimbals. I will honestly collect 100 gimbals if I can, because I just like the technology so much. I love gimbals so much. It's a weird obsession I have. Some weird noise going on in the background. Anyway, let's answer some questions, man. Cam VE, I'll honestly pay you $1 for that. You're about $1,199 away from getting it, actually. What other questions can we answer here? Steve Holt, the Came TV Profit looks sweet too. Yeah, so Came TV just released a new gimbal at NAB called the Profit. And that's a cool gimbal because it's similar to the Came TV Optimus detachable handle, but it has a stronger payload. And it's cheaper than the Optimus. I think the total price of it will be like $1,100. The Optimus is $1,288. So I wonder why the price is lower. Interesting. Yes, and it has that cool ring as well. I think that's pretty awesome. Just checking some things here. Okay. Cool. The gimbal dance, yeah. I should do a giveaway for that, right? Steve Holt got his Argo from B&H used for $1K. Nice. Steve Holt, what do you think about it, man? I never bought anything used from B&H before. So how was your experience with that? Because I bought this one brand new from B&H. The most important question we all want answered. How long did you grow your hair for? 2 years. Almost 2.5. Yeah. Yeah. Steve Holt says he loves his Came TV Argo. No problems with it? No problems with the software or anything like that? I've even run into a few issues, but I played around with the software so much that I got used to it. They rate stuff at 8 or 9 and it's pretty much new. Nice. But don't you ever wonder why it was returned? That's the question I always ask myself. Halvin Wolf, it's getting closer to June and July. Any thoughts about an internship or memberships program? Honestly, I'm not going to know until probably June. So ask me in June, because I got some projects I got to finish up right now before I can even worry about that. But I will keep you updated. Cam VE, do you have the Zhiyun crane? I don't. I want it. I want them to send it to me so I can review it, but they won't. They said I need at least 100,000 subscribers for them to send me the product, which is absolutely lame, because I've had other companies send me products to review and I don't have 100,000 subscribers. I thought that was pretty lame. You would think that the appropriate thing to do when it comes to PR stuff is to send the product, as many as you can actually, to people so they can review it. You don't want only the big YouTubers to review products. Otherwise, people are gonna think, oh, this is rigged. You know, they're paying them to do these reviews. You send them to people who have smaller amounts of subscribers, so that way people think it's more legitimate, because it is. So only a few. I got sponsored with about 7 or 8 companies global, and all of them have really good PR areas, because they know what is needed to be done, and they know how serious I am about reviewing my equipment. I'm very, very precise. Yeah, they should send me a Zhiyun crane. I have 116 subs. Nice, man. Came TV seems to take care of their products. Yeah, they do a pretty good job. I had an issue, though. I have their Boltzmann lights, the 55 watt Fresnels. I have a pack of 3. One of them arrived broken, actually. One of the power cables weren't soldered to the board correctly, so I had to solder it myself. So I don't know if that was an issue during shipping, which I strongly doubt, or if it was just a manufacturing fault. So, yeah. Check out the latest vid, my latest vid. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Will do, brother, will do. Steve Holt says it came with the receipt, and it says what they fixed on it, and it was some software stuff and gave it new battery. Yeah, so it's practically new. You never, with the Came TV or any gimbal that comes with Alexmos board configurations, you never want to mess with the software until you do a lot of research, because you're messing with parameters that were programmed into the board, and if one digit is off, you're gonna get a very crazy looking gimbal. When I first got the gimbal, I was like, yeah, I can figure out the software, no worries. And then I went ahead and I changed a few settings in the software, and my gimbal was literally spinning so fast with my camera on it. I literally thought it was gonna like propel itself off the ground. These are brushless motors, so they have the ability to spin at incredible speeds, just like a drone, basically. So it was pretty terrifying to see my camera spin so fast. It was funny, but terrifying. When did you get into filmmaking? About 6 years ago? No, 6 years ago. Yeah. 6 years ago. That's when I got into it. Do all gimbals have software? Yes, but different software. There's only a specific amount of gimbals that use the Alexmos boards. Alexmos is a product from Basecam. Basecam Electronics makes all the software. I trust them more than any other company to create the software. It's because they were one of the first companies to make gimbals available to the public. They were very, for drone flying and stuff like that. I think they created a gimbal earlier than DJI did. So they know how to create gimbals. So They did all the circuitry for Came TV gimbals. It's all powered by Alexmos. Or Alexmos, however you pronounce it. I did have to use the software to reset the controller direction, but Came walked me through it. Yeah, you know what? I had to do that too. I actually figured that out through a lot of trial and error. I didn't ask Came TV for help. But yeah, it does come inverted. So the panning is actually when you click on the left joystick part, it goes right and right goes left. I don't know how you'll take this, but honestly, I feel like you're my Philip Bloom. Dude, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I want to meet Philip Bloom. He's in Vegas right now, so he's about 5 hours away from me. He's in NAB, at NAB. And I tagged him in one of my photos that I took on Instagram, and he liked it. So he knows me. He knows my name, Momentum Productions. Yeah. Yeah. Philip Bloom is my dad. Steve Holt, where are you based out of? Los Angeles, California. That's where all the action's at. LA. Yeah. I really want to contact this Waterbird company. I want that slider. They didn't even release a price for it yet, but it looks very, very expensive. This is remarkable. And you said they're Austrian, huh? Yeah. You remind me of Steve Aoki. Do you get that a lot? I never get that. People never ever guess my ethnicity. Some people told me I was Asian, Mexican. Some said white. No one ever guessed my true ethnicity. Isn't that funny? Some people called me Mac from It's Sunny in Philadelphia. I guess I kind of see that. But yeah. They said at NAB the small one would be $2,000. Wow. $2,000 for the small flexible slider. Ouch. Ouch. Not a good price point. Not a good price point. What editing software do you use? Final Cut Pro. That's what I use. Do you have a job outside of YouTube? Yes. I'm a freelancer. So people hit me up. They say, hey, film this. And I'm like, dude, I'm there. And I film it. Steve Holt says, well, it's automated too. I know, but it's still expensive. I have a 48-inch slider that has tilt, slide, and pan motors. Huge motors. They're big. That whole setup costs $1,200 or $1,300, and it comes with a ton of accessories along with the turntable and support rods, and so I mean it's a little expensive. Are you international? What do you mean am I international? Alvin Wolf said, you said Russian and I instantly saw it. Are you sure? Because I tell people I'm Russian all the time and they don't see it. Are you international to do work? Not really. I've traveled throughout the States a lot, but not international. It's very difficult to do that for work. However, I want to start doing public speaking for film, for freelance film. I want to show people that it's a lot easier to start than people think. It really is. People that want to be in an artistic field such as cinematography, photography, they're very scared to invest time and money because they think it's too difficult. Investing your time is not as hard as you think. Okay? It's not. All you gotta do, it's like a band-aid, boom, rip it off, go for it. Cam VE, have I been to Australia? So funny how you asked that. I have family in Australia, and I try and go see them every year. So yes, I've been to Australia. I've been to Melbourne, and I've been to Sydney, and I've been through a different amount of areas in Australia. Yeah, I know Australia pretty well. It's like my second home in a way. Come to Adelaide. Oh, Adelaide. Ooh, Adelaide. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely come to Adelaide. Your latest video is about Sydney. Nice. Have you been to Asia? Let me try to remember. I have not been to Asia. I'm dying to go to Japan and China, though. That's on the schedule. Do you guys do you live in Asia? Somewhere in Asia? Adelaide is so boring, though. I don't think so. Come on. It's because you live there, probably. That's why it's boring. What gear do you think is needed to start cinematography other than the camera? What gear? It all depends, man. How much money do you have to spend? If you have a very limited amount of funding, then you're very limited on the amount of gear that you can get. But obviously there's gear that you need immediately and gear that you can get later down the road. So let me know how much money you have to spend. If you came to Adelaide, you would have nothing to film, not even joking. That's impossible. You always have something to film. Always. There's always something to film. So, Quame, I think that's how you pronounce your name. If I butchered that, I'm sorry. You have about $1,000 to spend. You have an A7S. Great, I have an A7S as well. First thing you need to get, besides a camera, a good mic. Boom. Audio is just as important as video. You need a good mic. Before you get a lavalier mic, get a boom mic. You can get one from Rode for about $300, the NTG2, I believe it's called. Okay? So that's good. That's very important. NTG2 from Rode, it's about $300. That means you have $700 left. $700 left, spend another $200 on a fluid head tripod. You got $500 left. $500 left, spend it on a you can spend it on a decent Canon lens for your Sony, or a Tamron or something like that. Spend the rest on a lens. But I feel like you definitely need a decent lens. You got the camera, you need a tripod, and you need a mic. Those are the 4 big things you need to start off. Sound is key. Which lens? So a good lens that Canon makes, you'll actually have to buy an adapter as well. But a good lens that I like that Canon makes, which is about $350, is the Canon 28-135. It's a decent lens. I was very, very happy with the picture quality that came out of it. Cam VE, my Nikon D3400 doesn't even have a mic input. Don't worry about that, because I don't really use my mic input on my Sony anyway. I use an external recorder and I sync up my sound to my video manually in post-production. That's right. I do it in post. And I recommend using the Zoom H6. The Zoom H6 is an outstanding mic and recorder. You can input up to 6 different microphones. 6! How great is that? 6 microphones. XLR inputs. So, and the mic that comes with that recorder is so amazing. I use it for voiceover work all the time. So I'm so happy with it. Which mic is a good one for DSLR? Rode stereo video mic. Stereo video mic from Rode. I think it's like a $250 mic, and it comes with a shock mount. So that's a good mic to start off with. It's a directional mic too, so it gets quite a bit of distance. And it's pretty, you know, it comes with a little windscreen as well, so that's good. So keep that in mind. Any more questions, my friends? Canon or Sony? Sony for videography, Canon more. No, I'm all Sony now, to be honest. I used to have a Canon 5D Mark II, and I sold it for Sony. I don't think you answered this, but why do you use your A7R II more than your A7S II? Here's the thing. Recently, I've been using my... I change my mind every now and then. I haven't used my Sony A7R II in months. I mainly use my A7S. It's honestly preference back and forth between the two. The Sony A7R II is more like a general good video and excellent photography camera. The A7S has its very specific purpose of being a video camera in low light situations. So whenever I would need a low light camera, A7S. Whenever I needed just a general video camera with photography features, boom, A7R II. Whenever I needed a vlogging camera, boom, Panasonic GH4. So that's my camera setup and why I choose them for that reason. Expect the $9,000 1DX Mark II. Yeah, I'm expecting it. My problem is I shoot wedding videos. How to fit mic into a video light in the same camera. So what you need to buy a dual hot shoe mount. So it's basically a splitter. It mounts onto your hot shoe onto your camera, and it's like a little rail with two hot shoe mounts. One on each side. One for your mic, one for your light. Done. Look it up on eBay. It's called the, I think it's called a hot shoe mount splitter. I believe that's what it's called. I need coffee, guys. More questions. The GH5 now has 6K? Are you talking about video recording or 6K photo capture? That's a big deal. If you tell me that the GH5 has 6K video recording feature, I'm gonna flip out right now. Because I remember them saying they have 6K photo capture. Unless they released a firmware update with a 6K resolution. Jeez, Panasonic. They really want to demolish every other company in video. Wow. You can do 6K video now on the GH5. Oh my goodness. But do you really need 6K? That's the thing. I should buy a GH5, huh? No, I want to wait for the A7S Mark III. I promised myself that would be the next camera I get. 1 gig per minute. So I guess a 64 gig would be okay. I just bought a new SanDisk Extreme Pro because 2 of my memory cards started failing. That's right. They are not recording footage when they're supposed to be recording footage. Cam VE Mark III. Yeah, Sony A7S Mark III. Expect that thing to come out any month now. I'm waiting for it to come out. I'm excited. How to shoot flat video in my Canon? I don't know, man. I only have Sony and Panasonic. Check it out through the Canon forums. It's probably going to be called like C-Log or something like that with Canon cameras. I don't know how they called their log. But you got to look for the profile that shoots in log. But that's the best advice I can give you. I don't think the Mark II, the Canon 5D Mark II, had that feature. Panasonic has another new camera too? Wow. I'm scared about using a hard drive because I've read a lot about how they crash. That's why you need 2 hard drives. Boom. 2 hard drives, one that backs up the other. 2 hard drives that fail at the same time? Very unlikely. Not going to happen. How to shoot flat on a Canon? Buy Sony instead. You can't afford 2. Okay, so save up, my friend. You cannot shoot a video for a client and then come back next week and say, sorry, your files are gone. You want to be a pro, you got to be safe. At least 2 hard drives, one backing up the other. Alright guys, well, it's already been an hour. Wow. It's been an hour already. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to have to sign off here. I'm happy that you guys tuned in. We got a lot of stuff covered today, especially with gimbals and all the new stuff that came out from NAB, the slider. I'm going to contact Waterbird. Maybe they can send me a sample so I can do a review on it. And then I really appreciate you guys for the awesome feedback you've been giving me and the awesome comments. So again, if you can donate, that would be fantastic. The donations go to new camera review videos and tutorial videos, so I appreciate your help. You can give me a super chat donation, or you can also there's also a donation button on my YouTube homepage, so you can do it that way as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your awesomeness, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.